In this video, I'll answer a question that I got in a private message in Discord. Now, I did ask the person if I can do a video on this, and I really wanted to expand more than what we talked about or how I answered the question there kind of privately. And this question is relating to, actually, I'll just share the question and then I'll go on to answering the question, which is, the question is, I started trading in November 2017 and made 1,150% profit until January. And I lost everything in the crashes from February to March. The problem was I knew how to deal with a bull market, but I never experienced a bear market. Is it possible that I was just lucky, or could I have potential to be a trader? Because now I know how to deal with both sides of the market. And basically just saying lately I've been feeling that it was just luck and no skill. So how did I answer this and how would I answer this? I would say yes, it was complete luck. So I know that's probably contrary to what a lot of people would think, but there is timing. One of the things when you read trading books, you talk to a lot of gurus, and I put in air quotes, about trading. They say you can't time the market. That's complete BS. Because what are you trying to do consistently when you're trading? You're trying to time your trades. So everything you do with trading is typically timing the market, okay? So anybody that says you can't time a market hasn't really traded and does not know what they're talking about, all right? Because every single trade I do, I try to time my entry to get the best entry, and I try to time my exit, okay? And one of your edges that you have as a trader could be your ability to time the market. That's an edge. That's something that you build through using indicators, through looking at charts, through everything else. So anybody that says you can't time the market, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't trade, okay? Now, maybe there's a guru that says that, and I'll allow a certain amount of wiggle room there, but when someone says you can't time the tops or time the bottoms, you can't. And I say that too. You should never be able to time the tops and bottoms. You just can't. But you're still trying to time your trades. And you can still develop an edge where you can time your positions and enter at the right time. Okay? A lot of people got in the crypto market, and I have BTC up here because this is very clear. You could have been anybody and bought right here in November and just said, wow, I made 160% and cashed out and been happy, right? You could have been anybody and just buy right here. You could have bought right here and make money. You could have bought right here. Well, obviously you'd lose money. You could have bought right here and made 63%, right? And it's not just obviously Bitcoin. If we go to XRP, right? Same thing. You could have bought right here in December, right? And made money. You could have bought right here and made money. You could have bought right here and made money. You could have literally, on most things, let's go to ETH. And you know this if you've been in the market, obviously. You could have been in any market and throw darts at anything in crypto at that time almost and made money, okay? And made money and made money. The challenge is most people were still buying right here, right? You were still buying right here. And I bought positions on retracements here, right? I bought a retracement here. So I have a position in ETH right around 1130, okay? But keep in mind that my original capital is out of the market. So that's really the bank's money. But I did buy a position here, right? I felt that there was still support at this level. Well, obviously, there wasn't, right? Obviously, we found that there is not support at this level. Now, I've since took that ETH and flipped it a couple times throughout this whole market here, right? So I've took this ETH and BTC, and I've flipped it a couple times, and I've increased my ETH with the anticipation and that it will potentially go back to this level. Potentially. It could not, right? It could just trade here forever, or it could go to zero. We don't know, okay? So how I'm answering this question and how, and I'm probably sounding harsher than I should, is that if you got in November and January or December and you made profits, then you got in at the kind of opportune time, especially if you got in before that as well, okay? Now, if you didn't take profits and you gave all your profits back, they're not profit, they weren't your profits because you didn't realize them. So if you gave your paper profits back to the market, all right, then a couple things happen. And if you lost money, a couple things happen. The first thing is that you were emotionally trading, okay? So the first thing is that if you are at a loss right now from a high like that, then you were emotionally trading. And you were emotionally trading all through this phase, all right? Because you weren't putting in stops, you weren't stopping out of positions, and you weren't looking at the market as a fundamental, on the fundamentals. And there's nothing wrong with that. Look, here's the one thing I will say, and I should have probably started with the positive first, is that the fact that you're asking that question or you're still here and you're still watching this video, and this goes for anybody watching this video, okay? If you're in that situation and maybe you haven't lost that much or whatever else, but if you're watching this video at this point in time in the market, well, you should have been buying over here, right? Should have been buying here because that's really where the accumulation is happening, right? And it maybe still has some downside, but to me, this is where you should be accumulating. But the fact that you're still here is enough for me to say that you have what it takes to be a trader. Okay? Because the people that are not watching this video, the people that were into crypto here and we're all excited, and then maybe a little excited here, and then we're all crypto and like blockchain's going to change the world, Bitcoin's everything, the bankers screwed up the whole world, everything else, blah, 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 whatever else, right? I'm going to hold to the end. And then they sold here, right? They sold down here, and I'm just, sold here at a loss. Or maybe they still have positions. They're just saying, you know what, that crypto stuff, whatever. The people that are there that are not watching this video, okay, they don't have what it takes to be a trader. Plain and simple. If you're watching this video, you have what it takes to be a trader. It's because I look at action, okay? The simple fact that you're watching this video right now shows me that you took the action. You're looking to improve your trading. You've realized that you made some errors. You realize that you actually traded bad. You realize that, hey, there's something wrong here, but I want to get better. I can do this. In the back of your mind, right? I don't do a lot of these rah videos or whatever the kind of motivational, hey, you can do it, right? But I look at action. The fact that you're still here in this tremendous downtrend, and that you gave, 1,100% back to the market. That's a big drawdown. I don't know if you've lost your original capital, but a drawdown typically is a drawdown of real capital, right? A drawdown in paper profits is not really a drawdown. Okay, what I mean by that is that just because you were up 26%, you didn't realize that profit. Okay, so if I make a trade here on ATH and I made it in January and I was up 40%, I don't have a drawdown of 40% or whatever it's at right now. My drawdown would not be 40%. My drawdown on my capital where I'm at right now would be 43%, 45%. That'd be my true drawdown. My true drawdown is not from this high, okay? Because I didn't realize this profit, all right? Now, if I bought from here, obviously, then my drawdown would be from this point, right? But the fact that you're still here throughout this market has been very painful. This last couple months have been very painful for a lot of people. And the people that have consistently the people that have consistently learned and have stuck with it and is still there, and if you're watching this video, that's you. So you have what it takes to be a trader, beyond a doubt. Everybody has what it takes, believe it or not. But one of the biggest things is, do you have the ability to actually stick with it during the tough times? And one thing is, you can look at this drawdown as part. I see this in books and a lot of people, which is like, I lost money, and I look at that as education. And I used to think that way, but to me, that's completely the wrong way to look at it. Okay. And maybe I read this in a book, which is basically, sorry I don't have more visuals on this video, but basically, if you started a business, right? And you started making widgets, right? And you lost $100,000 in the first year, are you going to say, and maybe you had investors, maybe you had someone put money in, are you going to say, you know what, that 100,000, that was an education. That was my education on the market. That might be how you justify it, but that's not the right way to look at it, right? You should be looking at trading the same way. You should be looking at, okay, yeah, I had a drawdown. Yeah, I lost capital. I lost potential profits. It's not an education, even though anything you do in life, you need to be educated. You need to educate yourself on. You need to get good at. Even today, I still learn something new every single day about trading. Every day I learn something new about how to look at the market. You cannot be a trader and not be fascinated with the market. That's one of the things I think many people don't talk about, is that you need to be fascinated with the market. All right. The money should be secondary. That's your end goal. But to be a good trader, most traders I've seen, and if I read between the lines and interviews I've seen and books I read and studying great traders, they're fascinated with the market. Okay. So if you're fascinated with the market and you're still here, you have what it takes to be a trader. And hopefully I didn't sound harsh, but really, if you've lost capital throughout this run, and I've lost some capital, so I've lost some trades, obviously. I've made some dumb mistakes. I still make dumb mistakes. I really try not to make dumb mistakes anymore because I try to trade without emotion. But if you've lost capital and you continue to lose capital, there's only one reason for it. You're emotionally trading. You haven't designed a system for yourself to trade unemotionally. You haven't designed a system to trade in a way that gives you an edge. You haven't designed a system to trade so that you are not controlled by greed and fear. You haven't developed that system. Okay? And you might be focusing on trying to find indicators. You might be focused on trying to find the right bot, the right whatever it is. If you're focusing on that instead of looking inside yourself and saying, it's going to sound weird, but what am I feeling when I'm making trades? What are my emotions? Am I still being dictated by greed and fear? Am I still making trades on greed and fear? And you can think back, play back in your mind, play back in time, look at the things that you lost money on, look at the things that you traded, and go back and say, what were you doing? What was your mental state at that time? What were you thinking? And the biggest question you have, first up, on a positive, you have what it takes to be a trader. Beyond a doubt. You're watching this video, you have what it takes to be a trader. The fact that you're watching this video in this market at this time means you have what it takes to be a trader. But have you solved those other issues? Have you solved the emotional buying? Have you solved your greed and fear? Have you put that in check? And it will come back. It's like anything else. I don't know. I can't think of an analogy that I would use that would be PG-13. So, but there's probably some kind of analogy of something that keeps coming back, right? So, it will always come back. It takes a long time to get to that point where you don't have greed and fear. All right? Especially when things really start to move and you start aggressively trading, and you should. When you're trading good, you should continue to trade, but sometimes then that little greed and fear comes back, right? So that's how I'd answer the question, which is like, yes, if you got in November, and I could just go down almost. I'm trying to think of XVG is another one, right? If we go to XVG, it's very clear. You could have bought XVG here and made 420%. Not bad. You buy in December, you're doing pretty good. Now, you would have gave up a lot of it. And now, just recently, if you were a holder, right? You've got the tattoo. So you've got the holder tattoo, you know, hopefully you got it somewhere where someone can't see it. But let's say that you got it. Well, you're up. I mean, you're not up. Maybe you're close to like, and I said this on Twitter the other day, the bag holders in XVG, if you're still a holder, if you still exist, you're probably happy because you're about 50%. If you bought up here on XVG, you're only 50% away, which it really has to move 50% for you to at least get to your purchase. Now, if we go down, that's actually you're down 33%. Okay, this is something I mentioned in another video. You're down 33% still, right? Well, no, you're down more than that. You're down 39%. But from this price, what does it have to move? It has to move 68%. So you're not out of the woods yet. Maybe I'm just putting salt in your wounds if you bought XVG there. But just take what I'm saying here, okay? Is that if you're watching this video, you have what it takes to be a trader. And if you're looking for indicators, if you're looking for technical things about, and you've lost money during this last market, and it's starting to turn around potentially, right? But if you lost money during this downtrend, okay, you were emotionally trading. I don't even know you. I don't even know who you are. I just know that if you lost money here, you were emotionally trading. Plain and simple. Okay? You were emotionally trading. You were not trading the numbers. You were not trading the math. You were not trading the probabilities. You were emotionally trading. All right? Have you solved that? You have what it takes to be a trader. But have you solved that? That's the first thing you need to solve. Put in check your greed and fear. Once you put in check your greed and fear, then start looking at indicators. Get deeper into learning charting and everything else. If you're in the training, we're already covering some of that, and I'll loop back around and cover more of the psychological aspects of trading. But a lot of the things that I covered that I have in the training right now is because a lot of people are already trading, and I wanted to get the stuff that would help people trading right now, even though really we should have done the psychological stuff a lot more. And I will. I'll go back and loop back to that. But I wanted to share some stuff because it's still a little forgivable to trade in crypto, meaning that you can be, I don't want to say reckless. You can trade. Crypto trading is a little unforgiving of mistakes, or forgiving of mistakes, I should say. It's still there. I think it's going to be like that for a little bit longer, but as things move forward, you're going to have to start getting more sophisticated because the market's going to get more sophisticated. So hopefully that answers any questions about that. And I know there's a lot of people in that situation because they got in the market during that time. And hopefully this question helps and it gives some focus around where you should focus your energy and how to move forward. You'll see links to tools that I use down below, links to the Discord group, links to the Google document on the primer of trading cryptos. Also, any questions, anything else you can ask in the Discord group or leave a comment down below. And that's all. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.